Safehome system. And I would like to thank each and every one of you for coming and sharing in this event with us tonight. At this time, I'd like to introduce Tammy Mann, Executive Director of Safehome system. Good evening. Thank you all for being here this evening at the gallery opening for the Art of Surviving. We're so excited to have that exhibit here. It's an amazing group of artworks from survivors all over Virginia. And we're just really thankful to have this here, and also to the Covington School of the Arts for allowing us to have this here. So thank you very much. There's so many wonderful people here, so many new faces I've met, and some old faces that I've met. I'm just so excited to be here with you all. Safehome System's mission is to empower and advocate for victims and survivors of domestic, sexual, and dating violence, and also while working towards a community free of violence. It takes a community to help someone going through these kinds of situations, and since I've been director here, that is what I see time and time again. Continued support for victims and survivors, and also to Safehome as an agency. As an agency, we wanted to do something to honor sexual violence survivors, and the Art of Surviving is the perfect way to do that. The contributing artists and poets range from ages 19 to 75. They are college students, great-grandparents, military veterans, activists, therapists, crisis center staff, volunteers, and advocates. The gallery allows survivors to teach about what sexual violence is and how it affects individuals, families, and communities. It rightly frames survivors themselves as the experts. If you have not already done so, please go around and read the cards and each piece of the artwork. These are their voices. When I came to Safehome as the executive director, I wanted to learn the history of Safehome. I wanted to learn how it started, when it started, and who started it. I believe that in order to move forward as an executive director, you must know where we came from and the history of the agency. I learned that Safehome System started 27 years ago in 1987. So many people told me that there were past board members, that they were past board members. They told me history of the agency. They told me that of all the people that they knew of that were part of the movement. I met with some of you in person. You gave me old documents, some old newspaper articles, which we have over here if you haven't seen those yet. And old documentation of some of the first grants that were written. I learned that community members took in survivors in their homes when it first started, because there was nowhere to house sexual violence and domestic violence victims, and I just think that that is amazing. The common theme that I've heard over and over again is about people involved with Safehome that were strong, dedicated, passionate, caring, and determined individuals. 27 years is a long time for an agency to be able to survive and to continue in a community. And for that, there must be community support. And that is what Safehome has had over years, over all of the years that we've been here. We are really, truly blessed. We have the school here that has allowed us to create this, or to have this artwork here. We also have some community organizations that have helped us as well recently. The Alleghany Foundation just awarded us a grant to help us repair and make safety changes that we have for Safehome. So that will continue, that we can house sexual violence and domestic violence victims throughout the years to come. We also have the Rotary Club that's recently they're going to be updating all of our children's equipment, which is going to be so great, because the children that are staying with us at Safehome will be able to have a safe playground and just to be a place where they can go out and put that energy out. I think that's going to be amazing. We also have, I wanted to thank Patricia Foster is here tonight. You can do me here. We have great support with Department of Criminal Justice Services, and that is an agency that has 3 of our grants, and those grants actually allow us to provide direct services in all the communities that we serve in, Alleghany, Bath, and Highlands counties. I want to thank you, Patricia, and I'm sorry. Thank you very much. Thank you. Tonight we invite the past and current current board members to the Art of Surviving opening so that we can honor them for their strength, dedication, passion, and determination to keep Safe Home services available to survivors of sexual and domestic violence for so many years. You may notice of those in attendance wearing name tags that indicate past or current memberships of the board of directors. So if you see them, they also have a little angel pin in their name tags, and that's just a thank you for being such angels throughout the year and throughout the years and allowing us to keep safe homes here in the community. I want to give you all a round of applause and thank you all so very much. So I want to thank you so much, and I also have a great honor right now to introduce you all to Sarah Payne. Where did she go? There you are, and Stephanie Tyree. They're going to come up and actually talk with you a little bit. They are actually the founders of the NOW organization, and also they're the ones that were passionate and started Safe Home Systems. And so they're going to say a few words to us, and I'd like for them to come on up and to do that, please.
This is my daughter Stephanie, and we're liberating women. We had started the NOW group, and with 21 members in Alleghany County. Lots of friends, men and women who believe in equal rights. And then had our organization about a year. Was that when we started? Everybody said we need to do something about to get a shelter for victims of domestic violence. So at first we didn't have a house or a shelter, so we started keeping them in our homes, and we would do that for 72 hours, and 72 hours, and then somebody in the organization would bring them to our house, and then we'd send them to a shelter because we were afraid to keep them there, because the abuser might know where they were. So anyway, we did that for about a year, and then we had an Edith Parker. She was then. She also kept the victims in her house. She lived in Covington. And right now, Harriet told me she's in Georgia, Alabama. So she was really good about that too. And then we got I signed the orders with Bob, and none of us remember Bob's last name. It's been 27 years, Anyway, we did finally get a house on Main Street in Covington. I think it was 501. I remember that, but I can't remember Bob's last name. We required a lot of work on it, so everybody pitched in and painted and repaired the church road. Yeah, it's renovation. And the one that really was good was the church. And then we had the Christian church in Covington. I have to tell you about these two wonderful people. It was Don and let's see, what was his name? Janet and Don Morris. And Don died like 2 years ago. I found out when I called the member of the club. And it was a Christian church in Porch, and they were there all the time, just doing things. So anyway, let's see what else you want to finish. Can you say it all? Well, I just wanted to tell you that the new director we had is wonderful. Tammy Dan, I just met her a week ago. And we had wonderful support from the community, police, churches, and all the citizens in the county. And we had, when we were keeping them in our home, it was really great, because I had to make my daughter get out of bed one night. She would come to visit because I had a woman and 2 children. So it was a really rewarding experience for us, and I'm just glad we still have it. That's pretty amazing. And Mary Downer, of course, Mary, she's been a wonderful volunteer too, and Tammy's great. So, Debbie, you want to say?
I think you just about covered it. This is now thanks to our fledgling NOW chapter nearly 30 years ago, because the first thing is we went around the room at Dabney, our initial meeting. What do we want to accomplish as a group? And a domestic violence shelter was number one. And it wasn't like, oh, let's go do this. It required crisis intervention training, it required visiting other shelters, it required having people who had started some come in and talk to us. We put out questionnaires all over the entire area, doctor's offices, churches, you know, just to get an idea of the need. And there was a need, obviously. And we're just really, really proud to have been a team part of it, because all of you have been carrying it on and keeping it going, and that's amazing. And it's just so much for the community, and you deserve applause.
Emphasize that the Equal Rights Amendment has still not been passed. But Virginia is one of the 15 states that hasn't passed it. They brought it up, I have to tell you this, because we have to work on this. Because the Illinois, I'm scared about Virginia. In 2011, 2012, and 2014, the Virginia Senate passed a resolution ratifying the Equal Rights Amendment. But the House of Delegates did not release the companion bill from the committee for a full vote on the House floor, so we got some work to do. We only have 3 more states, and we can get them ratified. That's the Equal Rights Amendment for women.
Thank you all so much for being a part of it.